Welcome to weeks 9 to 12 of the Average to Savage Prep Phase program. GPP3 is the third training phase in the 16-week GPP macro cycle and is designed to get you competent with dumbbells and kettlebells. Most of the exercises prescribed in this phase are bilateral, meaning both limbs are going to be working at once. There are 10 exercises in each program, with program A being lower body focused and program B being upper body focused. The sets for this phase have increased to 3 and the tempo has now changed to a 3-0-1-0. First off, you'll start your session with a dynamic warm-up and continue with your corrective exercises. If there are any progressions in your corrective exercises, you'll now move on to the next progression in the series. It's also a good idea to redo and retest the mobility assessments that you failed and see if your corrective exercises are working and you're showing an improvement here. Next, you'll move on to your warm-up sets. You're now required to do 2 warm-up sets for the first 3 exercises. Perform 5 reps at 50% of your working weight for the first warm-up set, and then 5 reps at 70% of the working weight for your second warm-up set, and do this for the first 3 exercises. So for example, on program A days, you'll perform 2 warm-up sets for the front squat, lying leg curl, and Romanian deadlift. If for the kettlebell front squat your working weight is going to be around 40 kilos, perform 5 reps at 20 kilos for your first warm-up set and then 5 reps at 28 kilos for the second warm-up set. You'll then move on to your first working set at 40 kilos for 12 reps. You'll perform 2 warm-up sets as such for the leg curl and the Romanian deadlift. For most exercises in this program, 3 sets of 12 reps are required, although some exercises are required to be performed for distance or time. The exercises are performed as standalone sets, meaning they're not paired with anything and they're to be performed on their own. So you do 1 exercise, rest, and then repeat the same exercise for as many sets as prescribed in the program, which in this case is 3. 45 seconds rest is given between sets. In terms of load, you want to use a weight that you can get 12 reps out with a max of 2 reps left in reserve. If you could bust out another 3 or 4 reps out once you've hit 12, you've gone too light. If you can't get 12 reps out or you're losing form, then you've gone too heavy. A tempo of 3-0-1-0 is prescribed for most sets. However, some may be isometric or distance orientated, so no tempo will be given here. Your training app should have automatically updated to your GPP3 programs, and these should be now showing. If this hasn't happened, please let us know via the How to Get Support form, which you can find in the Foundation course. Below this video, in the text section, you'll find screenshots of Program A and Program B. Have a look over these to familiarise yourself with the program before you start your training in this phase. As these are new exercises, go over the movement and exercise tutorials in the Foundation course to brush up on your technique and understanding, and if you're still unsure about any exercise, please ask us in the community group. Now open up your 16-week planner. For those of you on a cut, your daily step target is now 12,000 steps, and if your fat loss is not progressing at the rate you want to, we now suggest adding in 2 30-minute lists, that's low intensity steady state cardio sessions per week. These cardio sessions are optional and are used as an extra tool to further manipulate the energy out component of the energy equation. Because the more energy you burn, the further you'll go into a calorie deficit and the more weight you should lose. For those of you on a cut and using the flexible dieting method, you should have just completed your second 3-day deficit break, and you now need to amend your calories and macros in MyFitnessPal to your week 9 targets. You'll see that your overall calories are 100 calories less than in weeks 5 to 8. As stated before, this is to further drive and prioritize fat loss and account for any metabolic adaptation. At the end of week 12, you'll have your third 3-day deficit break. So put a reminder in your diary to adjust your calories and macros in MyFitnessPal according to these targets, and then readjust on the Monday after to week 13's new targets. Okay, so that's a rundown of weeks 9 to 12. You're halfway through the 16-week program, and some of you might be entering the valley of despair because you now realize the amount of hard work and sacrifice changing your body takes, and it may not seem worth it. So some of you may be considering throwing the towel in. If you find yourself here, ask yourself, what good ever comes from quitting? How many times have you failed before because you quit when the going got tough to try something else and just fail again? Now imagine what lies on the other side of this pain. Think about how good it will feel to finally go the distance and see things through to the end. Remember, building a body you can be proud of is not rocket science. It's pretty basic, but there definitely isn't a magic pill for it. It requires consistency over time. So if you feel like your motivation is wavering, I suggest you read through the Mindshift strategy document in Module 1 of the Foundation course, and then use these strategies to refocus and give yourself a good kick up the arse. But in all seriousness, take stock of where you are right now. Regroup and then start with the basics. Focus on your daily habits and just tick them off as many as you can every single day. And once you're back into your routine, you can start adding in all the other tools. You got this.